third reading is taken from the Treatise on the Love of God by Saint Francis de Sales, Volume 2, Book 13, Chapter 5. How sacred love diffuses its dignity among the other virtues by perfecting their particular character. At Tivoli, says Pliny, I have seen a tree grafted in all the ways that grafting can be done, and bearing every kind of fruit. On one branch there were cherries, on another nuts, on others grapes, figs, pomegranates, apples, and in general all species of fruits. This was marvelous, Theotimus, but it is still more marvelous to see in a Christian person divine dilection with all the virtues engrafted on it in such wise that just as one could say of the tree that it was a cherry tree, an apple tree, a nut tree, or pomegranate tree, so one can say of charity that it is patient, mild, valiant, and just, or rather that it is patience itself, mildness itself, and justice itself. The poor tree at Tivoli did not last long, as Pliny himself testifies, for such varied products quickly dried up the sap in its roots and made it wither and die. On the contrary, love is strengthened and invigorated anew so as to produce many fruits by exercise of all the virtues. In fact, as our holy fathers have pointed out, it desires insatiability to bring forth fruit. And just as Rachel urged on her husband, so also it never ceases to urge on the heart it dwells in and says, "Give me children, otherwise I shall die." The fruit on grafted trees always takes after the graft. If the graft is apple, the tree bears apples. If it is cherry, it bears cherries, but in such wise that these fruits always taste of the rootstock. In the same manner, Theotimus, our acts take their name and species from the particular virtues from which they spring, but they derive their taste of sanctity from holy charity. Hence charity is the root and source of all holiness. Just as the rootstock communicates its taste to all the fruits that the grafts produce, but in such wise that each fruit preserves the natural property of the graft from which it springs, so also charity so spreads its excellence and dignity upon the acts of the other virtues as still to leave in each of them the particular worth and goodness it possesses by its own natural condition. Here ends our third reading.
Thanks be to God.